We'll now call to order the January 18th, 2024 City Council meeting.
Councilmember Howe.
Present.
Councilmember Hyman.
Here.
Councilmember Jackson.
Here.
Councilmember Worth.
Here.
Councilmember Wright.
Present.
Vice Mayor Ripple. Mayor Malpajet.
Here.
Well, this evening's pledge was to be given by our Vice Mayor.
Uh-oh. I'll do it.
$200.
That's what we got. Let me see if I can find mine real quick. Good chair. Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of the community. Fill us with your grace as we make decisions, and continue to remind us that all that we do here this evening and all that we accomplish is for the pursuit of truth, for the greater glory of your name, and for the service of humanity. We ask these things in your name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a few presentations this evening. If Chief Kitty would please come forward.
I actually have two presentations. Sergeant Ward is one of our veteran officers of the police department, and tonight he's being awarded the Medal of Valor, and it states, presented to Sergeant Justin M. Moore on May 26, 2022. Sergeant Moore was initial responding officer to an incident that included a vehicle pursuit, multiple shots being fired at him, and a manhunt. But Sergeant Moore was responding to Walmart for a shoplifting complaint. When he located the vehicle that was involved, Moore got behind the vehicle, which traveled into Bridgeport, and he attempted to stop it when the occupants started firing a weapon at him. Sergeant Moore, after being fired upon in front of his police cruiser, being struck multiple times, continued the pursuit, which went through the streets of Bridgeport and ended up in Marion County, where the suspect attempted to set the van on fire and fled on foot. After an extensive manhunt, 3 suspects were located, arrested, and eventually convicted of multiple counts of attempted murder, wanton endangerment, and other charges totaling over 50 years each. Sergeant Moore showed exceptional courage and bravery while facing a life-threatening situation and continued his attempt to apprehend the suspects, all while relaying information to the 911 center and keeping himself and the public safe. And this is presented to Sergeant Moore tonight. Medal of Valor that will be presented with this plaque. And we got one other one. Sergeant Moore has also been selected as Officer of the Year for 2023 for Clarksburg Police Department. In this case, during the year 2023, Sergeant Moore was awarded multiple times, including Officer of the Month, the Life Saving Award in July, and of course tonight the Medal of Valor. Sergeant Moore's constant presence on the streets, issuing over 100 citations and contributing over 90 arrests. Sergeant Moore is a 12-year member of the Clarksburg Police Department who serves on bike patrol, SWAT, and is a shift supervisor. Sergeant Moore oversees the No Shave November program and has led many other fundraisers that have sent donations out to our community. Sergeant Moore is a popular figure amongst the people he works with and the citizens he serves, and is an example of the type of officer the residents of Clarksburg and Harrison County deserve. Thank you for your outstanding service. You are a great asset to the city of Clarksburg, the Clarksburg Police Department, and you deserve this recognition.
if Amber Abbott would come forward. We have a couple presentations.
Okay, a proclamation, whereas under the laws of all 50 states, the U.S. territories, the District of Columbia, and federal government, stalking is a crime and is defined as a course of action or pattern of behaviors of another person with the intent to cause the other person to fear for his or her personal safety, the safety of others, or offer substantial emotional distress. And whereas 13.5 million people were stalked in a one-year period in the United States, and the majority of victims are stalked by someone they know. And whereas laws and public policies must be continually adapted to keep up with new tactics used by stalkers. And whereas communities can better combat stalking by adopting multidisciplinary responses by teams of local agencies and organizations and providing more and better victim services. And whereas Hope Incorporated recognizes the need for greater public awareness about the nature, criminality, and potential lethality of stalking. And whereas Hope Incorporated is joining forces with victim service providers, criminal justice officials, and concerned citizens throughout Harrison County and the United States to observe National Stalking Awareness Month. So now therefore, James L. Malfajo, Mayor of the City of Clarksburg, do hereby proclaim January 2024 as Stalking Awareness Month.
We'll tell you, got one more.
Yeah, I was gonna say one more.
Proclamation, whereas human trafficking is recruitment, harboring, transportation, provision, and obtaining of a person for labor or services through the use of force, fraud, or coercion for the purpose of forced labor or sexual servitude. And whereas human trafficking is a $150 billion a year global criminal enterprise and is a crime as well as a civil and human rights violation. And whereas the United States government estimates that 24.9 million individuals are trafficked across international borders each year and exploited through forced labor and forced commercial sexual activity. And whereas Human Trafficking Awareness Day is observed on January 11th across the country in order to educate the public and raise awareness about human trafficking. And whereas Hope Incorporated recognizes the need for greater public awareness and the nature and criminality of human trafficking. And whereas Hope Incorporated is joining forces with victim service providers, criminal justice officials, and concerned citizens throughout Harrison County and the United States to raise awareness of human trafficking. Now therefore, I'm not the mayor, I, Wayne Worth, councilman of the city of Clarksburg, proclaim January 2024 as Human Trafficking Month in the city of Clarksburg and employ the efforts of the victim service providers, police officers, prosecutors, national and community organizations, and the private sector supporters of their efforts in promoting such awareness.
Thank you, guys. I guess there's not a whole lot else to say. I'm a victim advocate at Hope Incorporated. We're a nonprofit agency. We serve 5 counties, Harrison being one of them. We offer free services to victims of stalking, human trafficking, domestic violence, dating violence, and sexual violence. So if anybody, especially law enforcement, if you guys need to contact us for any of the victims that you guys come into contact with. Our number, we have a 24/7 hotline. It's 304-367-1100, but our Harrison County office is 304-624-9835. And our office is located just up the street in the Board of Education building. So, thank you.
Petition resolutions, communications, and public hearings. I don't believe we have any. Approval of the minutes of the regular session of December 21, 2023.
Move to approve the regular session minutes from December 21, 2023.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Approval of the minutes of the regular session of January 4, 2024.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Managers reports.
Thank you. We'll start with the city parks. So the indoor facility, they've replaced a light and installed a pulley system for the netting and cleaned out the gutters. Snow removal has happened at other facilities. There's been a gutter addition to the upper shelter. High winds caused the netting to fall at the Loria Field. They have plans to reattach the nets. On Memorial Day weekend, plans are opening for the pool, the ribbon cutting of the pickleball project, and there are 2 free concerts. They would like to make it an awesome event for Clarksburg with the City Council, County Commission, and Parks Board to be involved while they schedule different events over the weekend. Code enforcement, they've done 20 building permits with almost total job cost almost $550,000. They've had 7 calls to animal control. The city engineer continues to work on ongoing projects such as the Liberty Avenue slip, the Brown Street slip, the CD landfill, and other public issues. They've had a number of complaints and see-click fix inspections have happened. Brian Reed is working with the county to readdress 6 city properties, and there's been some exterior property cleanup by work order on Stanley Avenue. The fire department has had 140 calls to date for service. They've completed over 200 man-hours of training within the department during the first 16 days of the year. They welcomed
Paul Rasmussen.
to the department.
Sorry, I was said that a little louder for you.
The fire department reminds you to please close your bedroom door at night. Doing this simple step could save your life in the event of a house fire. Congratulations to Patrolman Franklin Sprouse for being selected as December 2023 Officer of the Month. Patrolman Jaron Morris has started training at the WV State Police, and congratulations to Patrolman Michael Blankenship for his promotion to Patrolman First Class. Public Works has been quite busy. They've installed 40 feet of 4-inch sanitary sewer main. They've replaced storm lines and sanitary laterals. They've had a number of cameras in different locations. They've secured 2 vacant properties. They continue their revamp of City Hall. They've repaired traffic light issues, and they've worked 2 snow events, and we'll see them again this weekend out and about. During the first 2 weeks of January, the RG has made the following upgrades and improvements. They've painted the lobby area, they've cleaned the carpets, and they've reorganized the scene shop and made an upgrade to the stage lighting. The stage rigging inspection was scheduled for mid-January, has been moved to mid-February. Events will resume on January 20th with another Born and Bred concert. They will host the WV Thespian Festival January 27th and 28th. And you can see all the upcoming shows and events at therobinsongrand.com. The 2 new raw pump VFDs are slated to come today, and they will be installed right away as well. SCADA control is currently working out of our main gate, and the sulfur dioxide scales have gone bad. They've obtained multiple quotes, and they will see the new scale shortly. A reminder to the public to please not flush baby wipes or flushable wipes down the drains. They do not dissolve and can cause blockages in the sewer line as well as damage to the pumps.
City clerk's information. A zoning form in connection with an application to operate an ABCA licensed private club, private wine restaurant or tavern was filed by La Scala Restaurant Group, 336 East Pike Street, and returned to the applicant on January 3, 2024. Unfinished business, consideration of second final reading and public hearing of an ordinance of the City of Clarksburg providing for the abandonment of an unopened and unapproved alley adjacent to property owned by George Isaac Brown and Nancy D. Frank Brown in the City of Clarksburg, Clark District, Harrison County, West Virginia, shown in the petition for said abandonment on file in the City Clerk's office, providing for findings of fact in connection with said abandonment, and authorizing the execution of the proper quitclaim deed, reserving therefrom utility rights of way. Notices regarding the public hearing appeared in the Exponent Telegram on January 9th and January 16th.
Motion to move.
Could have a public hearing.
We'll now open the public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak for or against may do so at this time. We will close the public hearing. I have a motion.
Motion to move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration of second and final reading and public hearing of an ordinance of the City of Clarksburg to renew cable franchise with Spectrum Mid-America LLC. Notices appeared as previously stated.
We have a motion?
Public hearing.
A second?
No, I'm talking about the public hearing portion first.
I'm sorry, excuse me. I was reading the wrong thing. We'll now open a public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak for or against may do so at this time. We will close the public hearing. I have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
New business, consideration of first reading of an ordinance of the City of Clarksburg to rezone and reclassify 849 Milford Street from R2 to B2.
Mr. Mayor, I move we rezone and reclassify 849 Milford Street from R2 to B2.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration of the purchase of security cameras and LPR reader cameras utilizing opioid litigation funds.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Discussion.
Discussion?
Yes. I support this 100% because we really need these cameras. I just have one clarifying question, when it comes to using the opioid litigation funds. And this may be something that our legal counsel could answer. It was a justification of using the opioid funds. Was that in the Attorney General's MOU in Section M under law enforcement as approved uses, where it says ensure appropriate resources for law enforcement and engage enforcement and process and possess adequate equipment, tools, and manpower to address complexity of the opioid problem? Is that the section that was used to justify?
There was a couple different ways that it aligned with that document. That's one of them, so it fits into the uses for the funding.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's just clarified, so
Yep.
that's it.
I have a question as well, and again, I wholeheartedly support the police department. I think they do a terrific job. My question is, was this bid, or are we going to a sole source provider, or is this what we already have in place, the bullet cameras?
Mark, if you could come forward, please.
The Verkada cameras are something we already have in place. We have 8 of them right now. The advantage is I guess, the regional dealer for Verkada cameras. They have the contract in this area to specifically sell those cameras, so that's why we go with them. Right now, the cameras are 65% off, which saves us about $10,000 in total. But the price you have there is for installation, the cameras, the PEP links that connects it to the, for connectivity.
And there's an updated cost, is there not?
Do what?
Was there an updated price as well?
The only updated price was for the PEP links.
Right.
Because we couldn't get that in quick enough, and it's going to change. It's going to go up for the PEP links about $900 total. But it wasn't a big increase.
What is the total cost, Chief?
It'll be about $91,000 total. So that's for 25 cameras and 5 LPRs. Will be placed throughout the city, high traffic areas, any crime areas. They can be moved if we need to. They're not permanent if we need to do that. The LPR cameras will be placed basically at the entry and exit points of the city, East Point, going towards Ammore. Those cameras also can be used to, if you're looking for a suspect vehicle, partial license plates, type of vehicle, you can put that in and it'll set off an alarm if it goes through that intersection. It does not function as the LPR cameras that the state has on the interstates that takes pictures and it's run through the state DMV office. This does not do that. We would have to physically, call in and run the license plate to get that information. It doesn't come up automatic. But like I said, we have 8 cameras right now that we use. We have an LPR camera that's already functioning in the Adamson area, and they have been a big benefit over the last several months.
Is there a big cost disadvantage or a big cost difference from the LPRs that we're currently like on 50 and 79 versus
Oh,
the
yes. The state cameras they have like at 50 and Route 50 and I-79 and up in Morgantown, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very expensive. Okay,
Thank you, Chief.
You said additional 400, right?
excuse me.
900. And then the only last thing I have, and again, not good. Again, I think we're taking this out of the opioid money, correct? The 750. Are there any other requests coming from other departments now or not?
The only reason this request came forward is because of the significant discount on the cameras. Otherwise, it would generally be based on a work discussion first, but their stock has been rapidly declining, and I want to save this taxpayers' money whenever we can.
And I have one question, just to kind of piggyback off of Councilman Howell's initial question. Is this something that would have to be bidded out?
I'll let our attorney answer that question.
I think that you're doing it under your current exemption, so you already have your contract in place for the current cameras. Plus, my understanding is that this is the license to the company that provides these cameras, which are the same cameras that Bridgeport has, correct?
They're the only ones that's authorized to sell these cameras. I tried to get another price on that. They can't sell them.
So there's sole source exemption, and also my concern would be if you change camera systems to find something else, you're not gonna be able to link up with Bridgeport. And that's not just, I think some of the other cities have it as well. My understanding is you all can easily link your system with Bridgeport's, and whoever else joins the system as well, and vice versa.
We have dual connectivity now with Bridgeport Sheriff's Department. I know other municipalities are looking at these cameras also.
So I think it's under the sole source exemption, based on you have one supplier for this one type of camera that the rest of the county is using.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also have one question. Chief, will it be displayed on a screen? Will the Clarksburg Police Department monitor these cameras like full-time, or is that be Harrison County 911? How's that gonna work?
We have access. I actually can look at it on the phone. Patrol has it on the TV screen downstairs if they need to pull it up. It's just an app on your phone or your computer that you can pull up.
It's more as needed. It's not something that someone's going to sit there and watch all day.
That's what I was curious
Yeah.
about.
But you said it does not notify or alert if the wanted plate, the car passes through it, it doesn't alert like the other ones do.
No, we can put the information if we're looking for it.
You can put it in.
We can put it in, but if a vehicle or one vehicle goes through, it's put into NCIC, no, it will not.
Okay.
Like the LPR on the interstate.
Okay.
And I just have one more question, just for the chief. Are these the same cameras? I remember that these were installed, 8 of them. These are the same cameras we already have installed, right?
We have them installed, we have them out in the community now, we have them in Public Works Garage, we have them in our interview room, processing room, Sally Port, the outside of this building.
And these cameras, just the technology, because, and this may just be hearsay, but these cameras can, like, if there was like a theft or something, and someone gave a description, those cameras could get a facial recognition and alert
Yes.
if it matches, right? Okay.
If we're looking for somebody in a blue parka,
Yeah.
we can put that in and it'll show us anybody on that camera that matches that description.
Okay.
Chief, is there any concern, I saw on the invoice that these cameras were discontinued. Is there any concern with those going forward? I
Not
mean,
discontinued, they're just
Upgrading the model.
updating to a newer system like most companies do.
Mhm.
We're still under warranty, there's a 10-year warranty with this purchase.
Could you tell us how old the ones that we have now, if they're the same cameras, how long have we had those cameras, and are they still working good, or?
34 years.
Okay.
And they're still fine, we don't have, only time we have a little bit of problem sometimes is connectivity, a storm or a power goes out. It's usually fixed pretty quickly.
Chief, since you're standing. No, you stay there. Are these bullet cameras ones that we do move around the neighborhoods, or do they stay permanent once they're installed?
We can move them, yes.
Okay.
It's not an easy process, it's not hard, but we just can't run out and put a ladder up and move them. It comes with a box.
Yeah, somebody has to
We gotta
hook them
have
up.
electricity.
Right.
Yeah.
So they gotta be somewhere where the city has electric already on the pole, and we have to move them, just, you know. But it's just a matter of getting our truck out, get Public Works to help us move it. But these cameras here, the price is, gentleman will be installing them. We don't have to do any of the installation, he'll be installing them and everything, so it won't tie up any work.
Is there an agreement we can get with Mon Power or something to where we can make this easier to move and?
Possibly. If we need one somewhere, we can also talk to business owners in the area. If they'll let us use their electric, we can use that too. If we have a problem at the Walmart, if we don't have any city electric close, you know, we're looking into using something. Because there's thousands of vehicles going in and out east of a day.
Oh, and to clarify that point for council, I have spoken to our Director of Public Works to see if we can put converters on the poles along Emily Drive to actually have electric on there, and we're looking into that right now.
Thank you, Chief. We have a motion and a second.
Call the question.
All in favor?
Aye.
No.
All opposed?
No. Sorry.
Motion carries. Are you no or yes, Mr. Howe?
I'm a yes.
Okay.
What was what?
Will?
Yeah,
Councilman?
that was me, and I said no.
Oh, you said Councilman.
Sorry for any confusion.
Yes, I'm a no.
So he said that.
That's right.
Okay. Martin Howe,
Yes.
Will Hyman.
No.
Mark Jackson,
Yes.
Wayne Worth,
Yes.
Patty Wright,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Riffle, Mayor Michaelton.
Yes.
Motion carries. Council comments?
Mr. Hyman?
Well, since we just left that subject, I'll go into my explanation. You know, I have some issues with these cameras, a multitude of issues. The first one being that I'm not quite sure I like the idea that the no bid process. I also I'm not a big fan of swinging right after, you know, we got this litigation money. You know, I'd like to sit down and talk about it. We do have a meeting scheduled on the 25th. Unfortunately, I don't believe I'll be able to make it. It's still pending at the moment, but you know, I kind of wanted to sit down and talk about it before we went this far. But you know, that's why we come here and vote on these things. So be happy to explain in detail if anybody would like to talk to me about it. But you know, that being said, I'm not terribly opposed to them. I just, again, I think the process was kind of not to my liking. I'd like to send my congratulations to Sergeant Moore for his Medal of Valor. I think that's very impressive. Officer of the Year is doubly impressive as well. It's officers like him who do great service to the city of Clarksburg and keep us safe. And also to the promotion of Patrolman First Class Michael Blankenship and Officer of the Month, Patrolman Franklin Sprouse. Gonna get some snow, they're saying, it's supposed to start any minute. Gonna get cold again this weekend, so stay warm and we'll do it again next time.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Jackson?
I would like to thank everyone for coming out this evening. I would like to say, you know, a big thank you to the individuals from Hope Incorporated for the work that they do in the community. That's a terribly well-needed service. Thank you to Sergeant Moore. You know, that's a lot of hard work there, and I say that that's a reflection of the leadership from their department. And you know, congratulations to the young men who who are also Officers of the Month. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. Mr. Howe?
Yeah, I agree with Will, what you said. Although I did vote yes, but I did it apprehensively based upon, the savings we were having. So I did support that, but again, that's why I asked if any other departments had any other funds requests coming, because that $750 could be gone instantaneously if we get them. So, again, Chief, I hope those do come in handy, and I do support that. And then congrats to Officer Moore for his recognition tonight. That was well deserved. Appreciate that. And, I know police, fire, and public works probably be very busy with this tremendous snowstorm we're having right now, tonight and tomorrow, and hope you stay safe out there while you're doing your jobs. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Howe. Ms. Wright?
Yes, I agree, as well as far as congratulating Sergeant Moore. That was really interesting to hear the story about his situation that happened there and getting away, and I'm just glad that he walked away from that safely. I also just want to thank Chief Kitty for answering our questions on the cameras. I think it's a good use of funds, so I'm happy we got it passed for you guys. And hope everyone stays safe and warm. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Wayne Worth?
Yes, I first want to congratulate Sergeant Moore. I couldn't imagine being in that situation where shots are being fired at you, and or just even waking up in the morning and thinking, am I going to be able to come back home today? And to go out there and still pursue, that person, I don't think we give the police department enough credit, or police officers enough credit. A lot of times they're always trying to look over their backs, making sure that they're doing something right. It's a hard job. There's a lot of liability, and there's a lot of, you're just trying to protect yourself, from being shot or injured or whatever. So kudos to Sergeant Moore. That's incredible, and that should be celebrated and it should be remembered. And I'll always remember this, So also, I also want to give a big shout out to Public Works too. I went to church on Sunday on Duff Street, and some lady came up to me and she said, "You know what, Wayne? I didn't think I was going to be able to go to church." She lives up on Shin Street. If you guys know where Shin Street is, right behind Widening Way, and there's all kinds of cover there, and it's an easy place to forget. Probably only 2 or 3 people live on Shin Street, but she said, I heard Public Works, heard the plow truck, probably right around 6 in the morning on a Sunday. And she goes, I was able to get up and go to church today. And so that's the kind of dedication and service that, our, not only our Public Works, but our city employees, really put forth, for our city. About the vote tonight with the opioid funding for the cameras, I support it. I had some questions just to make sure that clarified that it supported the MOU. It is something that, we're fighting on the supply side that we voted on tonight, and it's roughly about $91,000. I do agree with Councilman Hyman and Councilman Howell. Maybe the process should have been a little better. I know we're going to have a work session coming up to review the MOU and to try to at least from there come up with some sort of plan of how we spend this funding, because we can't forget the demand side of things. We can't forget that there are folks on our streets that are struggling with this struggling with opioid use disorder that need targeted case management to get them off the streets, that need outreach. And at the end of the day, if we could have those sort of resources, working with our law enforcement, working with our first responders, we're gonna see a major shift in a positive direction in starting to address this problem. Not solving it, but at least addressing it. But I did support the cameras. The cameras are very useful. And in most, in most of the crime that, we're dealing with in our community, your property crimes, trespassing in a condemned structure, probably 80% of the homelessness that's going on is stemmed from drug addiction. And so, we need to be cognizant that we need to fight this on both sides. Tonight, we voted to fight it on the supply side, because we need to keep our city safe. I just hope in the future that we could also fight it on the demand side after we have a work session. So, other than that, we're expected to get between 2 and 100 inches of snow, whatever happens. So stay safe out there and have a good weekend.
Mr. Vice Mayor, thank you, Mr. Work.
Just want to echo pretty much what everybody said up here tonight. I also was wanting to sit down and talk about this money and get a plan together about using this money. But as we have before, since I've been on council, there's been times when we have not used the bidding process, but every time it's been based on reasons that completely make it understandable. I wouldn't do it wouldn't vote yes for it just to do it, just to, unless there's cause. There's always been cause. I think this is a good thing to use it for. I like things move fast. I also like things to do it the right way, but when we can move fast and do it the right way, I am all about that. So that's why I voted yes for tonight. I'm glad we'll be able to move forward with that. But I'm also looking forward to the work session to really hash this out, involve the community, and not make sure this money that isn't just gone in 6 months and we don't know what we did with the money. The community doesn't know what we did with the money. So I want to use it for good causes and really help this community that was very impacted by this opioid issue. As everybody else has said, Patrolman Moore, Sergeant Moore, that's, what else can you say about that? 90% of these people wouldn't even sign up for that job. It's a tough job. So not only to sign up for that job, but to go above and beyond and face that. And, I'm sure he probably was at his next shift. He seems like a guy that I've talked to several times. He's good at his job, and so it's probably just made him, more eager, more motivated to be out there and fighting crime and making the city safe. Also want to congratulate Patrolman Sprouse, selected December Officer of the Month. One thing about, so I've met, Moore and Sprouse both before, and one thing that I've seen from them is out in the community. And they're great with the community, the kids and things. When it's Halloween, they're out there. They're just out there talking to the kids. I've seen Officer Moore playing basketball with the kids. Those things are very important. It always reminds me of Tommy Thomas. So anytime you do anything that resembles something that Tommy Thomas has done, you're doing a heck of a job as a police officer. That segues perfect to Tough Man's this weekend. Seems like every time there's Tough Man, it always snows, but it never stops people from getting there, no matter what. It's a great time, and it's one weekend I always look forward to. I have fought before. I would never fight again, but I'm too old now. But I'll still go and enjoy it. I know Councilman Howell's always there, right across from the ring. We'll see him there. Maybe he can tell you stories about the year I fought. There's some good stories. But anyway, so I hope everybody's safe out there when they go to that event and have a great time. And yeah, that's all I had.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Let me start out by saying the cameras weren't a knee-jerk reaction. It was because of the discount, and this money will be discussed in work sessions, and in 6 months we'll know where everything is, and hopefully still have some left. Fire department, what can I say? I made a call, I think it was Sunday a week ago, that there was a piece of tin flapping over at the Waldo. So I made a call, and they took the ladder truck, and understand it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. But kudos to you guys, thank you, because somebody could have gotten hurt if that thing came flying off. Congratulations to Jason Moore. I mean, I'd have loved to know what his heart rate was at that, for those few minutes when he was being fired at. Also to the other policemen that were officers of the month. Folks, you see something, say something, pick up the phone and dial 911. Can't do anything if you don't call it in. And as we are all aware, the winter storm warning is in effect from 7 p.m. this evening till 10 a.m. Saturday. We are expecting heavy snow at times with accumulations of about 3 to 6 inches in the lower elevations. School is also closed tomorrow. Public Works is well prepared and ready to go. Salt has been replenished. Equipment has been serviced. And as always, you can expect an amazing level of service from our Public Works Department. Everybody stay safe, keep warm, and have a great weekend.
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.